Wait a minute. Gotta put some.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to our channel. Before we get started, click that start button. Give us a hoot.
Good morning, beautiful people. It's College Ranking Tuesday. Excited to see what the rankings look like tonight. Go on, Sadie. There's a lot of stuff going on in college ball right now. If it's not, the good old coach talk, tracking the planes, boosters, ultimatums, signings, a lot go. See here, of course. Of course. Clip that and freeze that. Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome in. There we go. Let me get that over there. Welcome in to another sports talk. It's College Ranking Tuesday. What's the committee gonna do tonight? When you look at the top 25 from last week, you've got a couple losses in the top 10 there. So what does that do for the teams behind them is going to be a massive, massive question there. I think that we're gonna see what the committee's looking at, right? We're gonna find out tonight. Hey, how far does Alabama fall? See, a big thing that's gonna hold Alabama to the top, if you will, or in the actual playoff, is they have a win over Georgia, at Georgia. Yeah, it was a 3-point game. Alabama didn't score in the second half of that game, but they still won. They won the game at Georgia. And so how far does Alabama fall this week? I'm not thinking that they fall. They fall probably, we'll call it probably 8 is where I think that they'll end up falling, somewhere in that range. I think Notre Dame is still ranked too high. They dominated Pitt, but I don't think that they are. I don't think Alabama goes behind them. Let's say that, because if they played on a neutral field today, I mean, Jeremiah Love is outrageous, but I don't know if he's gonna, it would be interesting. So we'll see where Alabama, because Alabama can't run the ball. And if they can't run the ball, Ty Simpson is just he's left out there to sink or swim, and don't know if he's going to be able to handle it with. I mean, the blitz. If they can't start to run the ball, Alabama has a lot of problems coming down the stretch. So, I mean, when you look at that, BYU had a massive win. How far does Oklahoma jump up? Do they jump? I'm going to say they probably jump to about 7. Right behind them, Alabama. It's going to be interesting. We're going to find out what the committee is really valuing tonight. Is it strength of schedule? What kind of yeah, I mean, is it strength of schedule? Is it quality wins? Are they looking at quality losses? I know that's one term that a lot of people hate is like a quality loss, but I mean, when you factor it in for Notre Dame, you know, is Texas A&M's defense going to be able to handle Ohio State, Indiana? Because I mean, you've got South Carolina putting up 30 points literally in the first. Now, they didn't finish the game, and massive choke job. But in the world of sport, you know, they went up to Notre Dame. That score was pretty high. I think it was 40, in the 40s, 41-40 or something. So you've got that. We're gonna find out real quick as we come down the stretch, right? Bigger games have started to separate themselves. We're gonna find out if the committee is looking at certain things. I mean, you've got Georgia Tech at 16, which, yeah, their defense has struggled, but their offense is heavy. I guess the biggest question with Georgia Tech is, will they win a shootout? Well, if they're in a shootout with, we'll call it Oregon or Ole Miss or Texas Tech, one of these teams with a great defense, and other teams that gets a stop, holds them 3 and out, what then is Georgia Tech able to make some stops? Because their defense has been bad. Offense has been first in the country. Defense, bad. I do think that they would probably they should be a lot closer to the bubble. Not one of the first 4 out, and then we're looking at 11 spots because the group of 6 team is in, whichever team that might be. This is a year probably could do without that, but I do like the group of 6, right? Is the goal really to get the best 12 teams in? Because if it's to get the best 12 teams in, I don't know if you're leaving a team out that is better than the group of 6 team that you're putting in. That's probably the kicker there. Would probably beat said group of 6 team if they played for a play-in game. Now, there's all kind of proposals going on. Are we going 12, 16, 24? Regardless of how many teams that we expand the playoffs to, I don't care if you have 30 teams, the 31st and 32nd team and their fan base are going to be pissed off. No doubt about it. I don't care how many teams, regardless of how big the bracket is, you're going to deal with fan bases upset that they didn't get in over X, Y, and Z. It's going to happen regardless. That's where I think, like Nick Saban talks about, some kind of system. I don't know if it's strength of schedule or if it's something. I mean, there's all these programs out here, but are we going to put it in the hands of the programs? That's where it, because a 12-0 X team may not be as good as a 11-1 X team by the schedule that they had to play to get there. And that's okay. You can only play your schedule. But if we go to 24 to 32, 64, like college basketball, you can go there and you're still going to have teams and fan bases, pissed off about it, which is what it is. Obviously, yesterday, breaking news. Shout out to James Franklin. I think that this is a awesome hire for Virginia Tech. I mean, we can go back to the preseason rankings of this year. And I know I've talked about it big time. Like, preseason rankings don't mean anything. You still got to go play between the lines. James Franklin is a great recruiter. He's going to have some pretty solid recruits, and I imagine there's going to be a few flips because of Coach Franklin from Penn State. Is Penn State going to regret letting James Franklin out the door in 2 years, 3 years? I guess that does. I mean, that falls on who they hire. And there's so many names out there that are in this topic. I mean, when you look at let me go. And this is just a short list by some names from and Mike Elko is not on here. He signed his extension. Pete Nako is on 3 Sports. I don't know. I don't know if Clark Lee is leaving Vanderbilt. I think that he's pretty stoked with his what he's building there. And Nashville's a great city. If he builds a program that is attractive, you obviously see the money that they're putting into it. So I don't know if Clark Lee is leaving, I see Eli Drinkwitz as a pretty hot commodity coming into this coaching cycle. I never saw James Franklin taking one of the SEC jobs. There was rumors that he was going to look at the Florida State job if it became available. Don't know where it broke down. I've spoke about it. They've inside the building, and this could be he say, she say, but inside the building, Norvell was going to finish the season. It seems like they're bringing him back next year. I think that was the only thing that might have been holding James Franklin up because he had everything he wanted on a contract, just hadn't been signed yet. So was he waiting to hear from his agent on the Florida State job? That's kind of what I'm thinking there. So when you look at Eli Drinkwitz, is Florida going to make a run it? I know Lane Kiffin is the cream of the crop. And there are rumors of, him going to, his family is in Gainesville looking at this, and his family was in Baton Rouge. Now, some pretty interesting jet conversations. Let me see if I can get. Now, again, it's going to be he say, she say on it. But, I mean, if we're looking at let me get this one. Bop. Hold up. Yeah. All right. So, it is an interesting bit here. Some fuel for the Lane Kiffin sakes. The Jet in 957 CR yesterday, and this is when everybody else is talking about they see him, they've seen pictures and his jet and etc. I don't know if it was necessarily his jet. By doing a little bit of and who cares what people say? Doing a little digging doesn't mean anything. This company may just have a big job going on in Oxford. I'm not on that page. I think that there's obviously a little bit more to it. Maybe trying to keep it low key. So if you look at the 957 landed in Oxford, then back to Baton Rouge, late last night, that same jet to Oxford, back to Baton Rouge. And these are their departure from where they land in Oxford is within 30 minutes, an hour. It's not a gap like it was all day. So, their CEO name, see if I can get it to, get the CEO name here for us. So, James Pepper Rutland. This is the big part of it. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me get myself off of here. So James Pepper Rutland is the CEO founder of this big engineering company. And Pepper's journey began at LSU, where he played outside linebacker and served as a defensive captain. Football scholarship for the Tigers. He was also a member of the All-SEC academic team, 71-72. Off the field, Pepper Rutland enjoyed equal success in his construction management program. So, my question is this an LSU booster? Because the Jets owned by the MMR Group, which is James Pepper Rutland Company. And he spent some time on that football field for LSU. Big engineering. I mean, the MMR Group is a massive company in Baton Rouge. And you can find it online where they definitely support the LSU football team. And so with that being said, I mean, trying to keep it, that's why I was confused. A lot of people were talking about they saw Lane's jet. I think Lane's a troll, but I also know that he's probably smarter than that in the chess, not checkers. Now, we've all heard the ultimatum. They have given Lane an ultimatum. They need to know what he's doing before November 28th, the Egg Bowl. I don't understand. He's got them in the play, like they're in the playoffs. So what is going to happen? I don't know. Is it all for show? They've told Jimmy Sexton, hey, we've put all we can put on paper for you. Incentives, bonus, winning, all of it's on paper. Sexton says, last time, yeah, okay. And then they do it. And so apparently last time they said, nah. We need to know before the Egg Bowl. My question is if he's rolling out of town, I mean, the man, was ran out of Knoxville with pitchforks. When you watch his documentary and look at some things about him now, like, yes, he says he loves where he lives, the family, Oxford, Ole Miss, the support, the NI, the whole program, all of it. He has said he loves all of it. But at the end of the day, he wants to win a national championship. If he doesn't, now he wants to win that national championship at Ole Miss. But if he doesn't win it at Ole Miss, if the name, the recruiting, the population, I mean, we could say what we want about Ole Miss and what he's built, and he may have great. I don't think they can compete with LSU and Louisiana and all the kids that want to wear purple and gold. Definitely think that Mr. Kiffin has a better stream of talent. But again, he's such a good recruiter. Does that affect him? I mean, because Georgia, right? Great recruiter. You've got Alabama, like the state of Alabama, state of Georgia, state of Mississippi. Give him Louisiana. I mean, his team obviously loves him. The city, the town, the school, Ole Miss loves him. The devastation that's going to be on the Rebels' face, because I mean, even if he says I'm going to Florida or going to LSU, and you relieve him of his duties, who coaches your team going into the playoffs? How many into the transfer portal to fall? There's a lot of messy. So that I know, and if I was an Ole Miss fan, like, one, I would be terrified because of what he's built. But two, and truthfully, I was thinking if Kiffin was to go to LSU, I think that Mr. A name that's not on this list is Blake Baker. That defensive coordinator for LSU's defense this year has been great. The quarterback and the offense and running back, the whole lot. I mean, just that side of the ball. But Blake Baker has that defense playing great. If he does not get a head coaching job, or at least get looked at for some coaching jobs, I don't know what they're doing. He has that defense humming, and yeah, he's got some stars out there, but I think Blake Baker. Now, if Kiffin was to take that LSU job, you gotta try to keep Blake Baker as the DC. He is a great defensive coordinator. I don't know if Matt Campbell is a name. I don't know if he's leaving. I wouldn't say it would be a bad choice from him. Or Jeff Brom. I mean, because of the resources, Matt Campbell, I think, who was talking about it? Maybe it was Josh Pate or someone I heard talk about, like, Matt Campbell at Penn State would be hell of a hire. I don't know he's leaving what he's built there, but the resources at Penn State are a little bit different. If they went on a run at him, I don't know if. So Florida was saying they do not want to. They don't want a first-time head coach or they don't want to turn a coordinator to coach. What was it? They don't want to turn a coordinator to coach, like hiring, or they don't want a FCS coach, like Napier was, or something along those lines. And so does kind of shorten their list. I think right now, as we sit here, November 17th, I want to see something. I think Drinkwitz is probably Florida's next head coach. Let me find sports, college of football. No. Let's see. Maybe it's because my screen is. I want to see. Okay, yeah, here we go. Trending. I mean, it's gotta be. I was trying to see where the list was. And I'm just kind of. I was looking on the two poly markets because they seem to be pretty close. Also, I have a feel. So everybody at first was like, "Oh, Saban's coming back to coach. Oh, it's Saban. Oh, we're getting Saban. He's coming back to LSU." Have we thought maybe he's on the? Because people say they saw Terry there, and obviously it's the same thing that they're doing with Kiffin's family right now. So it's all speculation. Nobody knows if they're on campus unless you have I've seen videos on X. You can't tell who gets off that jet. So to say that it is Lane or his family or his daughter or his son or his wife, you can't tell in those videos. If there's evidence out there, which I haven't seen, that he was there. But they said the same thing about Saban and Saban's wife, and then Saban's jet from Lubbock the morning they were out there at Texas Tech. The jet he flies in, if you will, or what they're saying, is, found, let's say, from Lubbock to Baton Rouge. Have we thought about maybe Nick Saban is on the advisory team for finding the next head coach of LSU? Everybody was kind of predicting that Saban was going to be the coach at LSU. But have we thought that, hey, maybe he's on that team? And his relationship with Lane is pretty good. Saban doesn't really have any ties to Ole Miss, so he's, LSU was his first love, national championship there. He makes the comment, should have never left, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But he did. My question, right, is he on the advisor team, and maybe Lane is in discussions and Saban is helping with part of that? Here we go. Oof. Okay. Let's see if we can get this to... Now it is Kalshi, so I'm not going to say that it is... did it? Yeah, there we go. I don't know how evident it is, and I don't I don't have a account, so I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you it is who will be the permanent head coach of Lane Kiffin, and it has definitely grown. They're thinking there's a 31% chance, up 9. So he was, yeah, it was kind of here. Boy, the plane ride was somewhere in this area. No, it was somewhere in this area. I'm wrong. Oh, man. From here, not he. The MMR Group's jet that went to Oxford, back to Baton Rouge, and a quick brief stop at Oxford. Hey, is Lane the next head coach of the LSU Tigers? Gosh. The amount of talent that Coach Kiffin will have funneled there. Whoa. By the looks of this, it kind of looks like there's a chance he will be. Again, I don't know enough about it. Yeah. I mean, so if there's not, I got it. Okay. So, and it's dropping in Gainesville. Interesting. Mr. Fish could be your guy. Sorry. Got a, let's see what Auburn is. So Sumrall seems to be the clear leader in the Sumrall hunt. I think they're going a little less distractions, if you will. I don't know that Hugh Freeze is, the guy that's gonna build a culture. I mean, he did himself the favor of going and turning Liberty into what it became. But it also speaks Caden Salter, who went to Colorado, right, instead of following him, or did he even try to bring him? He brought Jackson Arnold. What happened there? Auburn hires him. Obviously, that did not work out. Clearly. No, I could be wrong. Let me see. I don't want to. I could be wrong, and I don't want to put out misinformation, but I do want to. What year was that? Liberty. So 2019 to 2020. Yeah, I think I'm way off. Possibly. Liberty University. I don't think it has a roster. No, it has coaches, who they played, box scores. Man, I don't know if it was Caden Salter now. He was at Liberty, but I don't think it was for Hugh Freeze. As Hugh Freeze was... Yeah, he was only there... Hold up, wait a minute. 2019 to 2020. Yeah. Our 2019 was his first season. Jeez. Maybe this will throw it. I just want the quarterback's name of Liberty. Stephen Calvert, is that right? Maybe. Okay. Yeah, see? I was way off. He played 13 games. Can we go next year? Yeah, here we go. All right. Whoops. My fault. So they went 10-1 under Hugh Freeze in 2020. Malik, that's who it was. Malik Willis, who played himself into a... He looked phenomenal. Okay, no, Hugh Freeze did have Caden Salter. Okay. In 2022, I was off a little bit, but I'm not way off. And he went to Auburn in 23. Okay, yep. Caden Salter played for Chadwell. And then he transferred. Okay. Yep. So Hugh Freeze did have him. I was not completely off. I thought I was. Heisman. I'm just gonna throw the... I think that we're leaving some big names off the Heisman list. I mean, when you look at, I think Georgia Tech, and I'm a Georgia fan, so like, why would I want anything to flow through them? Their offense is really good. I want to... Come on. I want the football program. Let's see. So, let me find that. Yeah. I mean, it's... Number 1 total offense in the nation. Haynes King is unbelievable. The fact that he is not getting any love is crazy. I think that he should be in the top 3. He should be in the top 3 for the Heisman, and then you have your 4th that you're going over, you're working over. But I'm telling you, Haynes King deserves to be. He needs more love because he is a dog, and he will put his helmet in there and sacrifice his body. But you also listen to his interviews, and he's great. Now, the defense is killing him, and I know that's what the committee is looking at. I just don't. We've got to give the love where it's due, and I think Haynes King is odds on the Heisman talk are a little bit too far off. Truthfully, I think that he deserves probably to be somewhere in that range. Let me see. Or even the fourth guy. Like, I just think that Haynes King is playing well enough to be talked about with the guys. The guys that are on that list there. I think. And that's why the question of the day is who deserves more love in the Heisman talks. Mine is going to be Haynes King. Gunner's name has started to be Gunner Stockton's name has been floated out recently. He's starting to get a little bit more love with how clutch he's been in the ranked teams, etc. But I don't think Haynes King is getting talked about enough. I mean, you look at his numbers, and I believe there was a couple games he was hurt. So when you look at those numbers, it's like, hey, he needs to be talked about there. Especially if we're talking, team-wise or player-wise. Look, Travis Hunter is a phenom. I mean, he plays both ways in college, played a lot of snaps. NFL hit him a little different. Does he play that many snaps going forward? I want him to look, he can do what he wants. But I think Travis Hunter being a full-time wide receiver would be electric. Electric for the league. The dude he can high point. He's good. Travis Hunter is good at football. I don't know if playing both ways is going to help him sustain a long career. Obviously, first year he had to have season-ending surgery. It's a tough break. I think he go forward. I mean, you could have packages maybe on defense, but going forward, you would want him on especially Liam Cohen being the head coach, who is an offensive mind. If I had to guess, I think we'll probably see Travis Hunter more on offense next year than defense when he returns. But I think if he's in New York for what he did, for his team and not having a defense, and you can't put that on an individual. That's why I think Haynes King should be absolutely in the discussion of Heisman. Mendoza, yeah. Julian Sayin, he's been great. I think this weekend he kind of had a little, but they still won big. He threw for 1 TD, 100 and something yards, but they still won big. So that, you got those two. There's 2 seats, right, in New York. So there's 4 in general. I think that there's probably 2 left. Hey, just go ahead and let's go ahead and just send Mendoza, Julian Sayin, Haynes King, Gunner Stockton. how great for the state of Georgia football to have. I mean, in all reality, even Georgia Tech being good, that end of the season game, that rivalry becomes important at that point because you have another ranked team that you're getting a chance to show, and it's an out of conference, so it is. That's a good thing when both of them are on the trajectory. You got two quarterbacks playing lights out football. That loss to NC State hurt them so bad. Their defense has given up a lot of points, but that doesn't affect Haynes King playing football and winning games because his defense has given up a lot of points. As I say, who jumps up this evening? It's going to be interesting. Oklahoma moves. I don't know who moves, and then who on the bubble here? Whether we go first 4 out or first 6 out. Who's sweating the most? Because this spot, 12 BYU is not going to. Yeah, that spot is going to hurt you because you're getting bumped out for that group of 6. So who is sweating, who is not? The 2014 playoff, as I said, the proposal. Look, you can put, like I say, a lot. 32, 64, whatever. There's still going to be the issue of who's in, who's out. And so fan base is mad. This will be a hot take moment. I think that comeback for Texas A&M only delayed the inevitable. If Texas A&M plays like they played that half of football against anyone in the top 12, give or take, bruh, you can just call it quits. Maybe they learned the lesson. In the second half, again, was phenomenal. But is it just delaying the inevitable of a loss? And who's the committee sleeping on? It's gonna be cool to see. But I'd love to take your calls. Come on. We. Yeah, we do. So, love to take your calls on the Couch Coach line. Let me hear your takes. Give me a shout. Ask some questions. Let me know. How do you feel? Let me do this. Yeah. Yeah. Make that thing. So give me a shot. I want to hear your hot takes. Cold takes, good takes, bad takes, win takes, lose takes. Is your team looking for a coach? Or are you wanting James Franklin? I may be an outlier, but I think James Franklin is a good coach. I think that Virginia Tech team has a very bright future, and nothing screams electricity, like an entrance to the Enter Sandman. It's one of the best entrances in college football, and so for them to be good, that is big time. So, from there, so tonight, like I say, we're going to get the top 12. Who's in, who's out. We still got a couple weeks left, but is this going to tell us, what's this going to tell us tonight? Will there be any corrections made? What do you think? Is the committee going to back out some teams that they overranked? Who is overranked? Who's underranked? Who do you think is overranked? Again, we're sure the committee is going to get it right. I'm sure the committee will get it right. Probably not, but the goal to get the best 12 football teams into the playoffs. I just don't know if that includes a G6 school. But who knows? They may shock the world. So we'll get the rankings tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay safe. And give us a shout. 404-590-3224. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.